Hi friends, welcome to the kitchen. Today, why don't we try to cook something to spice up our regular ordinary meals? And if you're transitioning to a plant-based diet, you might think that some foods do taste bland. And while I've already posted a couple of sauce recipes which are amazing, I would like to share a barbecue sauce with you which uses no oil, which uses no added sugar. It's pretty much whole food plant-based barbecue sauce. Typically, barbecue sauce is of course used either as marinade or condiment for pork or beef for the barbecue, but who says you cannot use it in your plant-based recipes? Moreover, if you are cooking some plant-based mock meat or beyond burger, beyond meat kind of a thing, you might want to have some barbecue flavor in it. So why don't we try to make it? And let's start with the first set of ingredients, which includes aromatics, onion and garlic. We have some cumin powder, we have some chili powder, we have some onion powder, as well as that we have some stock. You can use water. I'm using the beef flavoring cube dissolved in water because I didn't have any stock at hand. You can also get the store-bought stock, or you can cook it yourself actually. It's way cheaper than buying it in store. And as well as that, I'm using one big box of strained tomatoes that's around 500 grams. If you have some good, nice, flavorful tomatoes, be prepared to chop up around 2 cups of them. You can also use diced tomatoes from the can. So we start with heating up the pan and adding the aromatics in there. First, the onion goes in. I'm trying to give those onions a toast and brown them a little bit. This does help in developing the flavor profile for the onions, and it helps them to release a little bit more aroma and develop a little bit more flavor. You would like to brown them a little bit so they start sticking to the pan. If you're using non-stick pans, they are really convenient, but it is advisable or recommended that you heat them up to like the medium temperature normally, not to the high temperature. So beware of that. As for the garlic, here you can use different techniques to chop it. The finer the mince, the more intense the flavor of garlic will be. So here I'm just like roughly chopping the garlic and adding it in the end after I see the onions. They do start to brown. Garlic is really fast to burn, so around 30 seconds for garlic to start emitting the flavor is enough, and later it might start burning. So keep an eye on your garlic and onions. So we are using high heat for this whole time, and we are adding the spices in here. Our chili, our cumin, and our onion powder. We are going to toast the spices together with the aromatics. After which, after they're lightly toasted, it's time to add the broth and the strained tomatoes. After this, we will reduce the heat to medium. You want to see not as many bubbles on the surface of the sauce, and leave this sauce to thicken for around 4 to 5 minutes. While our first batch of ingredients is simmering on the stove, it's time to get ready with the second batch of ingredients. That's around half a cup of tomato paste with tomatoes. Yes, they do work really nicely together. Tomatoes are one of those foods that do develop good qualities while being cooked. Half a cup of date paste. You can also use thicker apple sauce for this. Additionally, we can add 1 to 2 spoons of mustard. I'm using regular mustard that is more acidic, is probably going to play nicer with the whole flavor profile. Regular mustard works perfectly fine. Do use what you have, and do experiment in the kitchen. This is apple cider vinegar that I have. I do not have any more, so that should be around 3 to 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. A little bit of black pepper and a little bit of salt are going to play nicely together. So all these ingredients are ready to go in right after our 4 to 5 minutes are out for the previous ingredients. Here we can start adding the new batch in, stirring stirring everything really well. You do see me struggle a little bit with the date paste because it was cold, because it was in the fridge. Stir it in nicely and we make sure that everything is mixed in really well, and we'll leave it on the low heat for around 7 to 8 minutes so the water starts to evaporate. If you can actually leave it like that, if you do not mind onion and onion bits in your sauce, but you can wait for it to cool down and then blend it all in the blender. I waited for around for a couple of hours, after which I did blend it. My blender is quite sensitive to the temperature, so do know your equipment and do not pour the hot stuff inside the blender because plastic expands and your gadget can just break. So do wait for the sauce to cool down a little bit and then you can mix it all together and you can store it in the fridge. I'm using a mason jar for it, and there you have it. I think this is such an amazing sauce. You get plenty of it. You can eat it throughout the week. It stores really nicely in the fridge. You can add a little bit of more chili, a little bit of spicy sauce like Tabasco inside. Just do not overdo it so you can eat it and you don't waste the goodness of it. And you can marinate stuff in it, like you can marinate tofu. You can also eat it with the vegetables. You can marinate vegetables in it before you roast them. You can eat it with, also you can use it with burgers, with different kind of patties. Any kind of meal that you would like to add a little bit of sweetness to it. Why I really do appreciate cooking your own sauces and your own sides is because you have control over the process and you do have control over the ingredients that you put, starting with the quality of the ingredients and with the ingredients themselves. So for example, a lot of barbecue sauces out there will have some added sugar to it because the barbecue sauce is built on this flavor profile, which has a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of sourness, and some sweetness, which can be achieved with adding sugar. And as you can imagine, sugar is what is typically used in there. One other great thing about cooking your own thing is you can adjust all these flavors to build your own unique and harmonious profile to your liking. If you like it a little bit of spicier, you can add a little bit more chili. If you like it a little bit sweeter, you can decrease the spiciness, add a little bit more date paste, and overall, this is an amazing sauce. Try this with your greens and you will thank me later. If you try it, let me know how it goes. If you have any tips or any sauces that you love, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm super curious to find out. And if you haven't yet, please consider giving this video a like if you like it. Do subscribe to the channel, it means more than you know, and it costs virtually nothing. Do remember to eat some greens today, know what you eat, take care of your health, be well, and I see you very soon in the next video. Bye.